It's the opening race of the Moto3 World Championship. We're here in Buriram in Thailand. Welcome to the Chang International Circuit as we go out for the lights to go out for a new Moto3 season. Hello everybody, welcome up to the commentary box, and I'm going to be perfectly honest with you, my voice is at an all-time low. So this is going to be a very interesting Moto3, Moto2, MotoGP race. I will try my best. Let's head down though and join the team trackside, ready for the action.
Yeah, of course we want to be further up, but at the moment we're working through the process. You know, we're trying many things, and we're slowly getting closer and closer to how I need to feel to say it's my bike. But at the moment it's still too early, so we're just doing laps and enjoying ourselves and trying to understand more and more the bike lap by lap, and the time will come that we'll find out the front again. It's not going to be long, I'm sure.
Enjoy today.
Thank you.
It's a big change, isn't it, Michael, for Joel? And there have been a few glitches this weekend.
Yeah, unfortunately, losing 2 days of pre-season testing with rain in Portugal meant he only had the 2 days at Prix, where we tested at post-season last year. So he's only had one circuit in the Honda, and he's changing big things like his slipper clutch from the HRC one to the Suitor one yesterday. You don't really want to be doing that on a qualifying day, but trying to just get the bike to feel how he needs. But he's confident he'll get it there.
We just saw David Munoz just jumping back up to the second row. Got a chance today.
He's got a chance, but it's going to be a really tough race for him. You know, coming back from a massive injury, broken femur. That's probably one of the worst one you can get. So he's going to have to be brave, David, but and hope that adrenaline works his wonders.
We know if there's anything, he is brave, isn't he, David Munoz? Well, we saw Casey O'Gorman last year, of course. He did a few rounds, but this is his first full season. He qualified brilliantly yesterday in 10th, and Nat is with him now.
Casey, I know you've been excited about this race. We're all sheltering in the shade at the moment, and this is a heat that a lot of rookie riders are not going to be used to. It's going to be pretty tough out there. How are you feeling?
Yeah, no, it's pretty hot, probably the hottest conditions I've ever raced in. So I think everyone should be conservative with the tyre because it's hotter than it's been all weekend. So hopefully it's a group race. I like a group race instead of having to push every lap. But either way, I think I have the pace for even if they want to push in the front, so we'll see.
Go well.
Thank you.
Well, a terrific show from Casey so far to qualify in 10th. He said this is a dream come true for him to get a full season in Moto3. But there, it's interesting that, you know, hottest conditions he's ever raced in. It's easy to take that for granted, but it's so difficult, isn't it?
It's difficult, and I mean, Casey got obviously a few races last year, and he's doing everything right. He got given some opportunities last year as replacements, did well, showed his worth, and now he's got a real chance of building a campaign, and it's completely different. You know, he goes from like having to show some speed, having to show something special, to now being signed up for the full season. He's going to be able to build his season nicely, work with his team, getting better and better, and he's starting really strong in terms. A strong experience, a difficult experience here with the heat. You have to manage the race, and the race is well, it's quite long. It's about 45 minutes in that massive heat where you're sweating, you're getting. I mean, it's really hard. Like last year, we saw Scott Ogden, for example, had some physical problems. He was sort of like completely dehydrated, and he dropped off at the end of the race. So you've got to manage that, and it's good that Casey was seemed like he was aware of that and hoping for a bit of a group race, so you can sort of rest a little bit more.
Such an exciting prospect, isn't he? The potential of Casey O'Gorman. Can't wait to see how he gets on this year. Let's hear from Scott Ogden. You mentioned him there. He qualified really well on the third row in 8th.
Well, Scott, you look good in pre-season in Jerez. You've pretty much been in the top 10 all weekend so far. How are you feeling about this first race?
Yeah, super. I've lost my voice a little bit, so sorry. It's the air conditioning that's killing me, but yeah, I feel pretty good. I'm riding good. Actually, I haven't had much time on the bike. The race is different, but I feel more aggressive than last year. I know if I do my best, I can be on the podium in races. So yeah, hopefully my body holds up today and we can fight for the win and the podium.
Thanks, Scott.
Thank you.
Now, we've seen Scott qualify well before, but, you know, then he has a propensity to sort of drop back. He's got Yamanaka and Pini alongside him. You know, the calibre of racing there is really strong. If you were managing him, what would you be saying to him?
Well, Scott, he had the pace here 1 year ago, so he, as Silva mentioned, he dropped off in the latter laps. I think his front brake lever became so hot he could barely brake. So unfortunately for him, that's going to be in the back of his mind, but it will be trying to conserve energy, conserve tyre, hope it is a group race, and he knows he's got the speed to battle with anyone, so just stay in that group, stay towards the pointy end, and he should, in theory, be able to bring it top 5 today if he can stay in that lead group.
That would be amazing. Good luck to Scott. Let's hope he can do that. We're looking at shots of Brian O'Reilly there. Great to see him as well. I think we're all excited about seeing the prospect of him. But let's go to the front row. Alvaro Carpe, he's speaking to Nat.
Alvaro, your season started so well here in Thailand last year. What is it about this circuit, and what do you think your chances are today?
My goal for sure is to be on the front part of the group, but it will be difficult for sure, like always in Moto3. I feel very good with a very good pace, but there is some riders that will be difficult to beat them.
Well today.
Thank you.
Yeah, it feels like everybody thinks it's going to be a tight one, doesn't it? It sounds a bit spicy. Just want to mention a couple of other names before we finish here. Jesus Rios going from 17th, but we expect that he should be able to move forward.
Yeah, he said obviously an experience last season, but this is his first full-time season in World Championship racing. He's had really good rhythm throughout the weekend. Didn't get the qualifying lap together down there on the 6th row of the grid, but yeah, we look for him to go forward. He's a feisty young competitor, and yeah, looking to see how he performs on the Sniper's machine.
And directly behind him, Eddie O'Shea is going from 20 in Sylvan.
Well, for Eddie, that'll be a good opportunity to to get at the back of Joe Kelso, his teammate. I think we're going to get a bit of a battle there, Michael, and yeah, for them to get stuck in. I mean, starting from 20, you got not much to lose, so you've got to try and stay with the group. Like I said, it's going to be a really long race here, so you've got to manage the race, manage the tyre wear, also manage yourself, because you get so dehydrated. You've got to keep some energy for the end of the race.
Yeah, thanks both of you for all that insight. Valentine Peroni going from 14th as well. There are a few riders that are slightly out of place on this grid, which always adds, yeah, it really is, a bit of spice as this race starts. So our first race then of 2026, the Moto3 boys are out there on the grid. The sun is beating down here. It is boiling in Thailand. Hot stuff coming your way. Neil Hodgson and Gavin Emmett, Macon Texas.
Yeah, how spicy do you like it? Because if MotoGP Sprint was anything to go by, if the Tuk-Tuk race was anything to go by, I haven't got a patch on Moto3 with David Almanza starting from pole position. We've got a 19-lap first Grand Prix of the year coming up next.
Moto3 is going to kick off its 2026 campaign, and this is how they line up. David Almanza, Alvaro Carpe, and Adrian Fernandez on the front row of the grid as Gavin Emmett takes you through the rest.
Season alongside him, Alvaro Carpe and Adrian Fernandez, who were on the podium, both of them last year, behind the eventual winner, Jose Antonio Rueda. Max Quiles, favourite for the championship, heads up row 2 alongside Indonesian hope Veda Pratima and David Munoz. You saw Scott Ogden there on the 3rd row of the grid. Marco Morelli's just behind Casey O'Gorman, who's back this time as a full-time rider for the Sitch 58 squad. There's Joel Kelso, he switched to MLab's Racing Honda team this year. Behind him, Cormac Buchanan, the Kiwi, alongside Eddie O'Shea in 20th on the grid. Right at the back of the field, having come through the Asia Talent Cup, is Zen Mitani alongside South African Rouge Moodley. 19 laps, and as we've heard Neil Hodgson from the riders down on the grid, the steamiest conditions of the weekend so far. And as we saw in the race, at the end of the race, Scott Ogden in particular, for example, last year, when the temperature's 33, feels like more, it will have its effect come the 19th lap of 19.
Absolutely, a lot of these lads are experiencing this for the first time, this heat for the first time. Obviously the rookies, it's uncomfortable, it's not nice. Throughout practice as well, I'll be honest, the younger riders, the Moto3 riders, don't do race runs. They're in and out of the pits. So now they've got to string 19 laps together. Also, you're in the group, there's no air. Really, really difficult conditions. What we learned in the past round here, normally it's a cracking race. We've got really long straights at the start of the lap, and that usually keeps that field close together.
Yeah, this turn 4, you usually get 3 or 4 abreast into there. It's lively, trust us. Whoa, already on the sighting line, that was Guido Pini on the inside. Yeah, it's setting up contact on the sighting lap. What did the steward say on that one?
I'll be honest, if someone did that to me on the sighting lap, I'd quite like it, because it'll just give you that little bit of extra adrenaline, and you need to have explosive power in Moto3. You need to react, you need to be really instinctive. And sometimes when someone gives you a nudge on a warm lap, I'll be like, all right then.
Have you had it before then? You've had that, you know, someone having a little bit of argy-bargy?
No, actually, I've not had it on a warm lap. I'm just saying if someone did, I just know the way that might be.
Brain would work.
I know how grumpy I am.
Like a spike of adrenaline.
Literally.
First race of the year, what are your expectations for Moto3 this year, with the champ having moved up and runner-up Angel Piqueras?
Well, Keyless starts as favourite, but your Paul Manley's been impressive this weekend. David Almanza, he switched to a KTM. He's in the intact team from the Leopard team. But I could name another 10 riders, Gav. I'm not going to. I just think he's going to be brilliant.
Yeah.
Quick word on the break.
Thanks very much, guys. They lined up on the grid. You'll be hearing a lot from them in this one as I try and save my voice. Quite a lot of them going for the SC1 tyres, although Carpe's on the front SC2s, as we'll get ready for this World Championship season to begin. All set at the front. Green flag at the back. Are you ready for a new season of Moto3? 5 lights are on in Thailand. Pull the throttle back. Moto3 is underway, and it's a good start from Alvaro Carpe. Great start from Maximo Cuelas as well, trying to go around the outside into turn 1. And Cuelas leads, but Almanza very late on the brakes. He takes it through turn 1. Couple of riders out wide as well further back. Couple of the KTMs in contention for that one. Down to turn 3 for the first time on the inside hairpin. Here it comes on the inside. Almanza now overtaken by Cuelas. Trying to come back on the inside. Cuelas is completely out of shape. Almanza will have the inside line, and he'll take back the lead of the race. Well, no, not a bad start. Adrian Fernandez moving up to 3rd position as well for the Leopard Racing. Down into turn 5. A bit of a nice shadow over the track there as he comes through the first sector point. Almanza leading. Cuelas 2nd, Fernandez 3rd, Carpe in 4th, Yamanaka in 5th. It's Rico Salmella, who has dropped 7 places from the start, and that's who went off at the first corner. Superb stars have come through turn 7. Joel Esteban is up into 15th position. Eddie O'Shea down to 16th. Oh! Big save there, coming through as well. That was from the 94 of Guido Pini. Almost went high side, middle of the corner coming out turn 8. Yo Kelso has dropped back a couple of places. Boys, please don't make me shout. It's lap 1. Down they come then. Into the breakers over the last corner. A few dive pods on the inside. I think that's Brian Uatai having a little milk and does get through on Casey O'Gorman. That one complete over new season. Scott Ogden has moved up into 10th position. So that's a much better getaway from him on the start. As they hurtle back down through the kick at 2. 300 marker boards dictate the point where you brake. Almanza still leading. Maximo Cuelas up 2 places. All hell breaking loose. What's happened to Cormac Bucherman as well? Down into 26th position. So loses out more time. No jump starts, so race control. So that's the good thing. On board with Cuelas. Right behind David Almanza. Into turn 5. Holds that inside line. As Koth Street as well, just in case you're wondering. Oh, hello. Oh, that's why we've got an accident down in the 2nd sector. Can't tell. Is that? It's Rusi Yamanaka. Rusi Yamanaka has gone down and has crashed out. Now, I hope he's okay. He's down at turn 5. Let's take a look. So he's 3rd and 4th. Here we go on the inside line. Oh, the front dips away from him, and it's a high side because the bike sort of goes down, kicks back up, and as it does so, it sort of launches him as well. He hits head first, arm next. That's not a nice situation to be in, unfortunately. Hopefully the marshals can assist him and we don't need to stop the race. David Almanza, 1:41.272. He's now got the fastest lap of this race. As they close down on the inside, well, there is Yamanaka walking away through the gravel. Yellow flags will be out for turn 5. Who's that going right at the last corner as well? That's Joel Kelso again, missing out on a couple of places. Kelso was Yeah, we've got a yellow flag in the first sector now, so what's happened there? Why is the yellow flag out sector 1 down into the running order for the hairpin? Oh, hello, that's the 14. That's Cormac Bucherman. And he has crashed. And there's a new rule this year. If you crash, you are not allowed to pick your bike up and restart it. So that is him out of the Grand Prix already. Oh, another violent accident with rolling in the gravel trap. Adrian Fernandez on the inside line. He gets ahead of Alvaro Carpe for 3rd position. David Almanza still at the moment holding off from Maximo Corrales by 0.2 of a second. I'm trying to find the right pitch in my voice where I can keep it out without it hurting. It's very sore this morning. So Yamanaka out, rider okay. Bucherman out, rider okay. As they continue through at the back stretch through turn 8-9. Coming over the line now. And here comes Maximo Corrales on the inside line. Down to the last corner. Should be an easy little lunge, but Almanza's got him covered. He knows if he even shows him a bit of wheel, he'll jump out of the way. Yellow flag final sector now. Oh, Guido Pini's crashed out. Guido Pini is out of the race. We're 3 laps down. We've lost 3 riders already. This is not the way we expected Moto3 to go. Oh, just turns it in and the front dips away. That Pini's rejoined the race. You're not allowed to do that. New rule this year. You crash, you can't. Yamanaka's rejoined the race as well. Right, in that case, they must have restarted behind the barriers. But that's not usually Yamanaka back in the race. There is a new rule this year. You're not allowed to restart your bikes and bring it back onto the circuit. It looks like Simon Craypart might be dishing out a few more penalties post-race. As we see the most useless replay on planet Earth. Almanza leading. Corrales second. Trying to find it a way through. Top 4 starting to have a little bit of a gap at the front of the field. Off track goes Vida Pramata. So Vada Pramata going off the circuit. Up into 5th place in the first in the first start for them in Moto3. Still closing up again for Maximo Corrales. He's going to have another go on David Almanza on the inside line into the braking zone. Still can't hook that inside line. He's trying as best as he can. Over the line. Top 4 now have separated a gap after the opening laps. Haven't seen a replay of the start just yet. But sector times are really good. And going wide again. That is David Munoz over the line, going wide. Pini and Yamanaka are running them. Pini's almost caught up the field, in fact, looking at that little timing screen. Small sips of drink help a lot. As we continue on, Joel Esteban's moved up into 9th position. He's got ahead of 2 more riders out there. There you go, Vada Pramata. A lot of support in the YouTube chat for that already. Good morning to Netty Gen 62. Good morning. Eddie O'Shea has dropped down into 16th position. Now, I got the message that Pini had rejoined the race before Pini had crashed out, which is a tiny bit bizarre, but we go. Look at the third sector. A lot of sector times going red already. Almanza's going faster, so is Corrales, so is Adrian Fernandez. They're getting quicker and quicker and quicker as the race goes on. Side by side on the inside, Carpe trying to force Fernandez wide. A little bit of a Marquez, Pedro Acosta move. Carpe's gone through. It happened this morning actually as well. Brad Binder forced Acosta deep. And Acosta gave him the longest death stare in the warm-up session, if you were watching that this morning. Miller Cabs were in action again as well as Jorge Martin and Jack Miller helped in the stricken Diego Moreira. Over we go once more then. Light on the brakes into turn 3. 14 laps to go. Let's have a replay. This is the inside line. That's Carpe getting ahead of Fernandez at the braking zone. Just slips on the inside. Let's check in with TNT.
Rear, and I think in a bit too much rear brake. He was tipping in. It just looked like it just locked a little bit. Still not ideal, double that.
Steady season, wasn't it, last year for Alvaro Carpe? Just 4 podiums for him across the course of the year. Not necessarily what he would have done. Sorry, my apologies.
Yeah, slightly underwhelming because he came into the championship last year in Carpe as again another rider who managed to win the Red Bull Rookie Championship and the Junior World Championship in the same year, and he really dominated. And we expected more of a, let's say, a Max Keeler season from him.
No wins as well. That was an expectation, especially his teammate was going on to win the championship. But still on Mansa, steady. Whoa.
Oh, that's a big mistake.
And that's Carpe going wide there again. He's struggling a little bit in that last corner to get it stopped and turned.
Here comes Pratima. Pratima's going to have a look at the inside potentially here. No, he's going to be patient, probably the right thing to do. When you're a long straight after a corner, there's no point in diving up the inside of somebody, costing yourself a load of time, and then you lose. You sort of gain a tenth on the win, and on a long straight like this, you lose about probably half a second. So
well, he could set that up nicely and get then a slipstream, couldn't he? Out from both Carpe and...
Couple of moves!
Carpe has to take to the outside, and Vader, Pratima, is through and into 4th.
Tell you what, Carpe, I've not seen him look this ragged at any point last season, and it's always in the braking zones. It looks, I don't know what's going on, like he's not quite got his engine brake strategy working for him in, let's say, these conditions where there's not quite as much grip.
So point out that Pratima's on a Honda.
Oh, this is a late move.
3 to 1, doesn't go.
Great is we both held our breath.
What did I say about Pratima? I said it at one of the practice sessions. Lacks a little bit of peripheral vision, as in he will lean on you, he does not care, he's one brave young man.
I saw last night, and they've been down working with the team all around the Honda team age squad. Not only have they got Hiro Ayama, here comes Pratima now. Who else is in that garage this weekend? Makoto Tamada, Yuki Takahashi, and also Toru Okawa, all helping out in the background.
Oh, side-by-side manoeuvres.
Quality there, some quality names. There's been some Grand Prix races won between those guys.
Vader, here he comes. And again, Fernandez, and again, Carpe runs wide.
Vader Pratima's looking brilliant out there.
Look what's happened to the race. It's given a gap of, what is that?
Great last now with Amanza.
In the space of a lap, pretty much.
And that's back to what I said at the beginning of this lap. If you do a silly move and dive bomb at this point, all you're going to do is cost yourself time. You're going to drop back.
Well, as far as Vader's concerned, it's not silly, is it? Because he's suddenly got himself into the podium positions.
Yeah.
Exactly that, Gav. Gav's got that spot on, and that's what's going to give it a little bit of a jump and go movement. He knows he's just got to hold on a little bit. Amanza leading the race. Coriolis second. Vader Pratima in 3rd. Adrian Fernandez in 4th. As they head down, taking a look quickly at Valentin Barone. We'll try and have a look on Adrian Fernandez to try and look for a little look on the inside. Nothing there. There's going to be no... Oh, yes, there is. Down the inside, Perrone makes the move on Fernandez. Able to slip through on the inside of the exit of turn 6. So, makes the move. Beautifully done. Marco Morelli's up into 10th place. He's past Casey O'Gorman. As we race on. Cruz has been given a track limits warning on our timing monitors up in the booth. As we continue this Moto3 race, 12 laps to go. Lightly coming up on the braking zone on the inside line. There goes again Alvaro Carpe. Gets ahead of Valentin Perrone. So that'll change as they come over the line. Perrone up 9 places from where he started this race, but still running in down the orders. A bit tight to turn 1. hopefully they can just find something out there. Because Almanza and Quaylas, 0.2 of a second separate them now. As off go my pictures up here in the booth. And that was predictable despite the fact that it's been set up for the majority of the time. So as we get our TV pictures back, we can still see that Carpe is ahead of Valentin Perrone, and Scott Ogden has got ahead of Marco Morelli for 9th position. As they come down, look at Quaylas. Quaylas is right on the back of Almanza, coming through 5 and 6. Look at this for Perrone from 14th to 5th. But the real question is, as you can see on your rider tracker, are we about to see an overtake happen? Can they find a little bit of a manoeuvement through? As David Munoz, Rios track limits warning now coming off. And we just saw him go wide at the top of the hill actually. So that's why that's come through. That's an automatic message this year. Maximo Quaylas is right at the back of Almanza. In the battle for first position. He's going to try and find a way through at some point. Here he goes on the inside line down to the last corner. And Quaylas, late on the brakes, can't do it. Almanza has the right of way on the outside line. Just pushes it back brilliantly as they come over the line. Almanza leads, Quaylas second. Pratima third, Carpe fourth, Perrone fifth. 6th coming up for Adrian Fernandez. 7th, Ulitai. 8th. For Joel Esteban. This is a few laps to go for the battle for third. That's the 31 getting spooked. So that's Fernandez getting spooked by Valentin Perrone, who sends it on the inside line. Coming into the last corner. Pratima still holding the lead of the race at the front. Still a lot of action to go here in Thailand. Hopefully my voice warms up as the race goes on. There is Almanza holding off the front of Maximo Quaylas. The usual idea is that my voice slowly, it starts off really bad, then it sort of warms up. And hopefully for MotoGP it'll be okay. It's very, very hard at the moment with battling laryngitis. As Megan had tonsillitis and I caught the cold off her and got laryngitis. There's Carpe on the inside line. That's Carpe getting a view of Fernandez repassing Perrone on the inside line at turn 5. And we didn't see on the main action. Here comes Quaylas on the inside. Nope. Come on, Maximo. What have we got? Maximo Quaylas is just trying to slip through the inside turn 1, but every time he goes for an opportunity for an overtake, every single time, Almanza is there just blocking the door. He's now pulled to the outside line, down towards turn 3. Track limits warning coming up now for Pratima, as Joel Esteban has dropped down into 13th position. Yeah, track limits warning for Pratima, so he can't do that again. Or face the wrath of the stewards as he comes out of the turn 3 hairpin, down through towards 4 and 5 and 6. I think Alvaro Carpe might be getting started fastest as he comes through. Max saying, sounding fine JB, just a bit subdued. Thank you very much, Max. At least I sound somewhat okay. I've tried to find the right balance where it hurts, but it doesn't hurt too much. It is slightly subdued, but I guarantee you that if there's an accident, my voice will probably peak and I'll have a problem. Still coming through. Right, we're watching Carpe in 4th, with Pratima in 3rd, and just trying to find a way through. And now we're cut back to the leaders again. We need a dual camera in operation here as well to see what's happening, because you've got a feeling that it's 9 to go, lap 11 and 19 now. You've got a feeling that Quaylas is going to go for it soon. He's looking on the inside line down to the last corner now, and this is the closest he's been. He's alongside Almanza, and Maximo Quaylas gets through and has the speed of the exit. Quaylas takes the lead of the Thai Grand Prix. Almanza now in 2nd. What's the battle for 3rd going on right now? still holding off as we keep an eye at the leaders. Manza, foot off the peg, ever so slightly losing it. But he's right in the slipstream down to turn 3. Can he have a look at the inside line? Late on the brakes. Kreylas has the late braking opportunity into turn 3. Keeps the position and tightens up the hairpin quite nicely as well, actually. So I must admit, round of applause. Eddie O'Shea, track limits warning has been given from race control as they turn through. Hi, Sean. He's got Maximo Kreylas as Moto3 champion this year. And Adrian Cruz up 11 places. Indeed he is. He's stonking through the field at the moment. We're watching Almanza trying to breathe through. Swallowing's getting easier, so it feels like the voice is warming up. Munoz gets ahead of Brian Uratai for 9th position. Come on, where is Almanza going to strike back? The last corner is a telegraph move. You don't want to go for it there. It's too obvious. But then again, Almanza is an obvious type of fellow. And that's exactly what he's doing. Kreylas tries to push him. Max is on the defensive line. And again, Almanza has to back out of it. Coming into the braking zone. Perron also up 8 places, currently in the mix for the podium. Yeah, Valentin Perrone. And he's got ahead of Adrian Fernandez, actually. On that last lap time by. Replay. As with 7 to go, let's check in with TNT. Give my voice a little bit of a break.
A bit tighter, perhaps.
Oh, that's why Pratima dropped back.
Wide in the braking zone, then ended up on the marbles.
Defending. Ooh, that was a squeeze, wasn't it?
That's how Perrone got through on the inside of Adrian. Dive bombed him in the last corner.
To the likes of Adrian Fernandez.
No problem.
He's coming back with interest.
Yeah, these sorts of riders, your Fernandezes and your Perrones, they spend all winter training, knocking lumps out of each other on mini bikes, dirt tracking, whatever it might be. So it's just that second nature. There's no big deal. They're not stressed about someone leaning on them, elbowing them, diving it up the inside. It's part and parcel of what they do.
Perrone now in front of Vader. Into 4th spot, and Adrian Fernandez coming through. It feels like in the left-handers there. Vader is just labouring to get it turned a bit.
Yeah, I was just thinking as the young Indonesian cooked his tyres a bit.
What's happened here? Because Almanza's leading again.
That is the point.
Front's hopping. He's had to stand it up.
Kreylas goes off. Kreylas off the circuit, and so Almanza leads.
The lead here, and
is this a chance for Almanza to try and do a couple of qualifying laps, head down, risk everything? Because I know it sounds bad what I'm going to say, but if you're Almanza, you sort of know that Quiles is the king of the battle.
It's a chance for David Almanza to win his first Grand Prix. He's out there in front on the number 22. I think joining David Munoz, he might be coming in. Maybe you're thinking, okay, he's the favourite rider in the team, but this is the start that he wanted. Just had a solitary podium to his name. He never even got to stand on that podium. If you remember, that was Malaysia, am I right, last year, where disqualification for Adrian Fernandez. Oh,
He did well there, hasn't he,
Almanza?
He did well there.
Almanza nearly dropped it at turn 3.
Too deep, a combination of a bit too much rear brake and engine braking.
Pushing, isn't he? He's trying to brake.
You're right, that's him knowing. And what happens is you go over the line, he'll have been signalled that he'd 0.3 of a second, which is obviously the gap is growing, so he thought, right, if I can just do one more qualifying lap, one more perfect lap, get that gap up to 3/4 of a second and try and break Quiles' spirits.
Quiles is trying to find a way through again.
Favourite like Quiles, you start the season, 22 races, and you go, I'll tell you what, I'll take a second here. So that's what's going on right now.
Yeah, but you know they want to win the opening round of the year. So much they want to win it.
Having a look over, he wants to see what he's got to play with. Well, he's got 3 hard chargers for company. That's what he has. One of them is on debut in Vader Pratima. Whatever happens from here on in, Pratima, for me, has been the standout rider of this Moto3 weekend. Okay, Almanza might win his first race, but to come in on debut and race with these sorts of riders.
These sorts of riders puts you way above his weight. Absolutely. Oh.
And
late,
he's just
Late coming in from Fernandez.
Classy move. And Carpe doesn't even flinch, and that goes back to spending all winter in car parks, messing around with your mates, racing like that.
Another Mercy. It's
Yeah.
Carpe. There's a production line of them at the moment. I think of Max Keyless, who's out at the front. Another one from that part of the world. As of course is Pedro Acosta. As of course is Ramin Aldeguer. As of course is Ana Carrasco. You know, it's been a hotbed of talent recently.
So basically the region of Murcia has produced more fast motorcycle races than the UK has produced in the past 20 years.
Punching over,
Almost.
punching
Pretty much.
over its size.
Yeah,
It's a
not being
tiny
negative or anything, but
We do have the conditions.
I was just about to say, it's surprised when a bit of sunshine does.
It is a bit of a microclimate as well in Mercy. Lots of golfing down there. Here comes Vader again. Back up into 4th place now.
Yeah, Vader could try and go through the
Done
inside.
here.
No.
I've seen him just in some of these sectors.
3 really good groups. Look at the gap at the front, as you can see on your screen to the left, is staying the same. Great little battle here for the podium, and that group behind us still. Every time I look, there's someone running off the track and arms waving.
Yeah, Scott Ogden's got further up. He's behind Casey O'Gorman. 11th for the Brit, 10th for the Irish, and then Brian Ariarte's just got in ahead of David Munoz behind Marco Morelli, who leads it. This is the battle for 3rd place. Carpe back up in front of Perrone now.
Little bit of a slipstream battle trying to come through.
Down towards the final corner, attacking Pratima and Carpe 2 in 1.
Thank you very much. He'll go on the inside as well. Just takes a nice cut back through. So Valentin Perrone moves up into 4th. Pratima down to 5th. Angel Fernandez holding on for 3rd position. Alvaro Carpe waiting to pick up, and is Almanza on course for his first ever race win, because here comes Maximo Cuelas. Look on the inside line down to turn 3, but Almanza so much later on the brakes into turn 3. But is that going to cost him? Carrying too much speed, he hits Apex 1, hits Apex 2. So Maximo Cuelas doesn't know where to put the bike. What an amazing race this is turning out to be. Hugging the inside line. Come on, what have you got? Give us a good one. Morelli, track limits warning. Eddie O'Shea, track limits warning. And here we go again for the battle for 3rd place. Fernandez ahead then. Side by side though is Vader and Perrone's gone back through. Pratima now drops down to 5th. Carpe is waiting to strike. With 4 to go here in Thailand. The inside line. There goes Carpe. Down at turn 8, striking. So Pratima down into 6th. Almanza 22.9, 3rd sector. Maximo Cuelas 22.8. Oh, and Casey O'Gorman shot a couple of places. I hope that's just a run wide somewhere, not an accident. Couldn't see. Yeah, he's just dropped back. Looking on my timing screens and my monitor in front of me with the world feed pictures. 2-3 to go here in Thailand. Carpe trying to have a run on the inside line. Fernandez has it though. For 3rd place, it's Fernandez. Carpe, Pratima on the inside line, and Perrone now down into 6th. Carpe to 4th. As wide again goes David Munoz. Pratima inside, trying to take 3rd position. They're 4 wide. The break is over turn 3, and that never goes well, does it? Who's going to have the inside line this time? Here comes the 83 of Carpe. He takes 3rd position away. Perrone side by side now with Adrian Fernandez. Pratima's just sort of driven back, but I swear I just saw Carpe go over onto the green line, which would be a track limits violation. And slowing out the pack at the side was Valentin Perrone, and Pratima has now taken 3rd position on the inside line. And he goes a little bit wide onto the blue stuff. Here comes back Carpe. Fernandez sticks up the inside of Pratima as well. Pratima's going to leave himself vulnerable now as well to Perrone. So from 3rd to 6th in the space of 2 corners. That's how this race is going to go. Just going to try and find the right opportunity, the right pace to come into it. And Manza leading by over 1/10 of a second now to Maximo Cuelas. With coming up on 2 laps to go here in Thailand. Just 2 laps. Oh, look at this, battling and a half right now as well. As Carpe holding off third position. Perrone on the inside line. Now with Adrian Fernandez. Laying the brakes into the last corner. He takes it through. Pushes out wide the 31. Pratima tries to come back through on the inside. That didn't work. They're on a slipstream drag down towards the first corner. Can they have a little bit of an opportunity for a go? No, they can't. Gap 0.2 of a second now between Almanza and Cuelas. Off the track, Marco Morelli and Joel Esteban. Here we go again. Into turn 3. 4 wide into the zone. He who breaks last shall be first into the guy in third. As we get a yellow flag in sector 1. Not sure why at the moment. Well, who's not? It is Bertoletti. Bertoletti has crashed out. So, and he can't restart the bike. You can't restart the bike. There's a rule this year which means you can't restart. As wide goes Carpe, Perrone on the inside line down turn 4 and 5, trying to find the way through, and he's done so. Carpe losing out on several positions. This is a cracking little battle. Bertetti's rejoined the race. Are they reading the rule book this year? Back to on the inside line, Perrone gets ahead. Carpe wants to find a way through. Cuelas on the back of Almanza as well. It'll be a last lap showdown between these two. I feel like MotoGP again not really focusing on the right one because we should be looking at the leaders. Last lap the call. Down to the braking zone for turn number 12. This is the last corner. There is David Almanza on course for his first win in Moto3. He's holding off Maximo Cuelas in second position. This was the last corner. Cuelas a little bit loose, went wide at turn 12 and lost 0.2 of a second. This is down to turn 3. We've got to keep an eye on these leaders. Almanza has done an amazing defensive job. Is it enough to be crowned a Moto3 Grand Prix winner? Still on the brakes. Carpe ahead of Perrone. Fernandez ahead of Pratima. Perrone at 10 places now from where he started. They're still running together quite hard. Carpe back ahead. Perrone trying to fight them. It's Red Bull KTM Ijo versus Red Bull KTM Tech 3. Perrone goes through on the inside line. Pratima's under attack now as well from the inside from Adrian Fernandez. Fernandez has gone through. And now I really hope my voice is warmed up because we're into the final sector. Maximo Cuelas is there. David Almanza is going to try and block. It's going to be our last corner shout. Here comes Cuelas on the inside. Almanza's blocking him with all his might, but he's pushed him too far. Cuelas has the inside line. He'll run it deep. Almanza's going to get the comeback. It's a run to the line. Photo finish. It is 0.1 of the line. It's 0.003. But for the first time, David Almanza wins by 0.003 of a second. Cuelas second. Perrone third. Carpe fourth. Pratima fifth. Fernandez sixth. But by 0.003 of a second, it is David Almanza, Moto3 Grand Prix winner. And I've got to stop because I've got laryngitis.
David Almanza has taken his first Grand Prix victory. We will have to go to the video finish though, and when we come back, hopefully we'll have
stay.
It is Almanza or when
oh my God, the video finish is in progress at first position. They don't know. They don't know.
2026 in Moto3. Quiles was run almost under to the grass, still braved it.
Who is it? Who is it? Over the line. Over the line. It was 3000s. Who's the race winner? Oh, it's a photo finish. It's identical.
Grand Prix of Moto3 in 2026.
It's identical.
What a start to our Grand Prix race day here. Almanza, your winner.
Video confirmed for rider 22. David Almanza wins. David Almanza confirmed the winner It was 0.003 at the line. 0.003 of a second. Oh, my God. I don't know if my voice can take anymore. And that was only race 1. Very sore. Very sore. Well, if that's the way Moto3 is going to be this year, bring it on. 0.003 of a second at the line to Maximo Crelas. David Almanza wins. Valentin Peroni's in 3rd. Alvaro Carpe's 4th. Veda Pratima in 5th. Adrian Fernandez 6th. Brian Urtai in 7th place as well. Really is true what they say about these lip mics. They pick off the little beard hairs you have. I didn't realise that happened. A worthy first win. Very, very first win. I don't know how I'm going to cope with this. That was Moto3. I really hope Moto2 is just as dramatic, but please don't give us a photo finish. Oh, so we've got about 47 minutes until the next race. Just enough time to have another cough sweet and some more throat spray. And hopefully it warms up in time. I think I treated that. How did you find that commentary? Was that okay? I love feedback with laryngitis if I'm still good. But I'm still amazed about that. 3,000th at the line. I can't remember the last time we saw a 3,000th of a finish at the line. That is quite a record for Moto3. We've had a couple of close ones, but never, as I can remember, 3,000ths of a second. I'm having a look. Moto3 ended. Oh, here we go. Moto3 is so the Hungarian Grand Prix last year. Of course it was. Maximo Crelas and Valentin Peroni by just 0.018 Well, that's closer. So Mugello 2017, 21 riders by 3.4 seconds. So in that case, if the closest ever finish was 0.018 Valentin Peroni side by side when Maximo Crelas won last year in Hungary, that's the closest finish ever in Moto3 history. David Almanza wins by 0.003 of a second to TNT.
Welcome back to Buriram here in Thailand. We got Park Ferme after a cracking opening Moto3 race to the championship. That was superb. And a first-time winner, David Almanza from Puerto Llano, central Spain. He's beaten Max Quiles, who looks sick as a dog, doesn't he, out there? Tried it, but you have to give credit to Almanza for what he did right there.
That was it. The key was going defensive. I've never seen someone go that defensive. It was almost borderline going too much defensive, but he forced Quiles on that tighter line. Won it by the width of a tyre. Look at that. What a race.
That's what 0.003 of a second looks like. Delight for the German team. Karina Hommelus down there, and turning back, team was Jürgen Ling. Delighted. He was, eyebrows were raised when he made the switch.
Yeah.
Basically, Leopard had saved his career last year, picked him up out of the blue, and then he ditched them.
Yeah.
After not, it wasn't a full season when he made the decision to go to that Dynamo squad. And yeah, who's got the last laugh there?
Well, at this point, I don't think anyone expected David Almanza before the weekend was going to, you would have said you'd have put him in your top 3.
You said you did.
Well, I did after the first practice session. No, I think that's. I'm really pleased for Almanza. It's a great squad, that Intact GP team.
And we just saw Alvaro Carpe missed out on the podium because Valentin Peroni made a superb move, didn't he, down into that final corner.
Yeah.
He's a hot prospect, Peroni.
I love a last lap. I love the chess match of how is this going to happen. And like we said, Quiles is so good. This time, Almanza played it perfect.
Hey, it's good for us as well. We go down to South America, don't we? In a couple of weeks' time, down to Brazil for the first time. No Argentinian Grand Prix, but I'm sure, I know Brazil and Argentina don't necessarily always have the best relationships in sport, but you know there'll be a lot of Argentines who'll make it across the border. Corona being on the podium here. Marco Morelli having a decent ride in the end, coming through. In the end, he was in 8th place. Encouraging. The South Americans seem to rally round in the Grand Prix we get down there.
Yeah, good to see Casey O'Gorman 11th, Scott did 12th in the battle of the MLab boys. It's like Kelso just squeezed past Eddie O'Shea. Eddie O'Shea finished 15th and will get a point.
They caught up that group though.
Yeah, they did.
So Max Keeler is frustrated, but championships aren't won and lost here. That is a very, very solid start to the year. I'll remind you about Max Keeler, still just 17 years of age. Right, Valentin Perrone, 18 himself. Let's hear what he has to say to Jack.
Valentin from 14th on the grid through to the podium in an incredible battle. Just how were you managing those final laps with riders left and right of you for all of it?
I really don't know. I was pushing on the limit, sliding like crazy, starting from 14. Was crazy at the beginning. I saw the group was pulling away, and I said, wow, or I push or they pull. And I pushed like crazy all the laps to be on the top 3, top 4, but Pitito, Carpe and Beda in his first race, they were super fast and super strong overtaking, so I struggled a bit to keep on the 3rd position all the time. And in the last corner, I closed the eyes, I tried with everything. If I lose sight, it's okay, but finally P3, I'm really happy. I would like to say thank you to my family, also to Riders Formation, to Jorgito, amo Jorge, amo Dani, and also to all the team that they made an incredible job, so thank you so much.
Top ride, well done.
Thank you.
Excellent ride from Valentin from the 5th row of the grid, and of course it gives Gunther Steiner, new owner for Tech 3, a podium in his first race as the team owner. Tougher prospect in MotoGP later, Maverick Vinales and Enea Passanini just both struggling this weekend. Back and forth, he loved it. Either I pushed or they pulled was what he said. I quite like the way of describing that. It was a to and fro, wasn't it, on the last few laps, and a great last corner move.
Bit of a lottery in the end of who was going to do what. And like I said, you almost don't want to lead it into that last corner because it just... somebody's always going to get a hector. Do you think he enjoyed that?
I think so. He started in the weekend, he said that we need to use his head. He did there. Max Keeler's used his, but could only manage 2nd.
Max, what an unbelievable performance, what an unbelievable final lap. You came across the line half a second behind, but you dug in, closed onto the rear wheel, had the lead out to the final corner to come out on the losing end of the closest Moto3 finish ever. How does that feel?
Well, it feels great. It was really difficult, really hot here in Thailand. And yeah, I was trying to be behind Almanza, resting a bit, but he was pushing quite a lot. And yeah, then before the last lap, the bike slid a lot and I had to go wide. And I was saying, wow, now I have to push, if not I don't catch him. And yeah, I could catch him. And in the last corner, I said, I'm going to try to overtake him. He surprised me because he nearly pushed me to the grass, but I said, I'm going to try it. I did the block pass more or less, and then I accelerate, but he catch me, so a bit angry about this, but really happy. And it was great to race here in Thailand, first time here, because last year I couldn't. And the fans are great, everybody is so nice, and I'm really happy to be here.
Great start to the year. Well done, Max.
Thank you.
Speaks well, doesn't he? Not been here before. Obviously loves it.
Thanks everyone. I mean, that's the perfect interview, isn't it? Very, very likeable young man, Max Keeler, and an animal.
It's a lot more black. That turquoise blue they've had in recent years. Still haven't worked out the helmet thing.
I haven't worked out the helmet.
Because other riders have got the Bell helmets on.
Yeah, so
he's got Bell on his chest. That is a team sponsor. But
slightly confused.
Our race winner for the Viannex, David Almanza. First Grand Prix.
David, you are a Grand Prix winner for the very first time, and what a way to do it as well, by 0.003 of a second. How do you feel having achieved your dream?
Yes, it's incredible. I trust in me today. I believe in and I dreaming. I working a lot in winter to stay here and nothing more. Thank you to my team for incredible work. To my family and friends to stay here always.
Huge congratulations.
Thank you.
David Almanza there, the only one that didn't really seem very happy on the podium, and he just took, wow, what an opening race that was. It really was fantastic. Wily throughout by all three. I mean, Valentin Perron from 14th onto the podium, and we heard Max Quiles there talking about what he was planning to do. You know, he's got a Marc Marquez brain, effectively, hasn't he? But he couldn't do it. But he did talk about running wide and making that mistake on that penultimate lap.
That's correct, yeah, he made that mistake and lost the rear of the bike into turn 12 and lost quite a bit of ground there, so he left himself with a lot of work to do in that last lap to try and catch Almanza. There we go, this is the mistake, so look at this, he goes super wide there and loses the slipstream, so the problem is you go into the first sector of the track where you've got a couple of straights and it's really, really hard to catch up. There you go, we're going to see that again, the bike just snaking into the corner and losing a lot of time, so you know, we know Quiles, he can make the magic happen. He can do that kind of performances, and he's one of the riders that when he gets stuck in like that, he can make that difference. So he did get at the back of Almanza again, and he was able to have a go. Unfortunately, just lost that on the line.
I mean, it doesn't get any closer than that. If it's a good job it's not football, we'd still be waiting for VAR to make a decision on that one. It was so close. But Michael, that last lap was sensational, wasn't it?
Yeah, you could see Almanza, despite having never had a podium before, first victory, he had the wherewithal. He was clever in how he blocked off the run to the flag here, to the last turn. He just set it up very well in this last sector. He's been the fastest man, almost 4/10 advantage yesterday in qualifying. So to lead from the front as a first-timer doing it on the Dynavolt machine, he just comes a little bit more to the right of the track than perhaps Quiles expected, almost put him onto the grass. And then when Quiles lets the brakes off down the inside, a little bit too tight, so it compromises his exit, and Almanza just sets it up for a better exit, not by a lot, but he just sneaks it at the line by a hair's breadth. That's how you want to win your first ever race, by the closest ever finish in Moto3 history, but Almanza's now a victor.
Yeah, it was a fantastic victory for Almanza. And, yeah, just reminded us, didn't he, Max Quiles, that, of course, he wasn't here last year because he was too young.
Too young. I mean, unbelievable season, Quiles last year. And, well, this year, clearly the favourite for the title. Great to see Almanza, though. Like Michael said, very little experience, obviously, his first win. And he did the exact perfect move for the end of the lap, you know, blocking the line really on the limit with his track positioning, not letting much room to Quiles and forcing him into a mistake going wide into the last turn. So, yeah, well done to him, a very well-deserved first win.
What about Almanza's campaign, though, for a championship this year? Possibly, Michael, before we
I didn't predict it pre-season. I thought he obviously had a good season on the Leopard machine, but yeah, no podiums to speak of, so he's turned up the Dynavolt squad and he's leading the way rather than David Munoz. Obviously, he's still carrying a bit of an injury hangover from that leg break last year, but he's expected to lead the team, and Almanza now leads the championship.
An incredible race to start things off. Let's go over for this podium. Someone's turned the heat up out here, Gav. It's like standing in a hairdryer.
I don't know, it's quite nice to me. 22 degrees, I think it says on my little air conditioning monitor I've got alongside me. Yeah, it is horrifically hot out there, Susie. It's so tough for these youngsters. Tough for all the riders. So brutal out on the racetrack, but they just all look to have coped with it so well, don't they? Peroni steps up. Quiles into second, and David Almanza will be on the top step for the first time. His team boss, Peter Ertl, down there, celebrates with him. It matches the closest ever Moto3 finish from the 2013 Australian Grand Prix between Alex Rins and Maverick Vinales. It was where there was also 0.003 of a second between the two Spaniards down at Phillip Island. So Peter Ertl holds aloft the trophy for the team. As Max Quiles and David Almanza shake the hands of the local representative, and Valentin Peroni collects a trophy for third place. Crew Chief Hector down there celebrates with him. That's his third podium now in Grand Prix racing. Many more to come. And South American will be looking forward to getting down South American soil next race in Brazil. Max Quiles holds aloft his trophy. And for Max, that's already his 10th podium finish. For the first time David Almanza's ever been able to stand on the podium. He inherited it last year, and he does it with a win in the opening Grand Prix of 2026. David Almanza, a race winner for the first time in Grand Prix racing, and he will proudly get to hear the ringing out of the Spanish national anthem.
Forgive me if I don't shout it, but for the first time in Moto3, it's champagne time. Can't give it the usual oomph I do. It's champagne time. Well, what a brilliant result it was to come into it. The Moto3 riders don't know what to do on the podium right now. They don't know, is it photo, is it champagne? It's champagne, boys. Come on, just what? They really don't know what's going on.
We've still got so much more racing to come.
They're having to tell on what's going on right now. Yeah, take the photo, boys, and then it's champagne. There's complete confusion on the podium right now. That was quite hilarious. There was not champagne time. That was completely hilarious. They didn't know what to do in that situation. So, race 1 of the Moto3 season is complete. David Almanza is the race winner. Next up, it's Moto2. We'll see you shortly. Take care. Bye-bye.